the greatest.
Hey, you know J. Ray got girls here going way, 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 way.
I didn't even do that, but all right. This is a whole nother new episode. Last one, y'all got kind of rowdy, but it gained a lot of traction. So I think we're just gonna keep doing these not recent event, but I don't know. Anyway, this is Real Talk Radio. This is oh my gosh, this is Miss Alexandrea Drake, but I forgot your title. I'm not gonna lie.
I am one of the assistant directors of residential living here at Piedmont University.
That's it, right there. We've already done a couple of interviews throughout for my college assignments, but we've also had some very mind-opening conversations outside of those interviews. And I was like, we might as well just bring it to the podcast, bring it to the platform, like we did with Joe last week, and make some people upset, but get some conversation going.
Not intentionally.
Yeah.
Not intentionally, yeah.
But one of the things we definitely did talk about that I've always wanted to talk about on this platform was America's education system, because we've both been in it, and you're kind of working within that space as well, and so we kind of had some opinions on that. But I want to start with, let's just be honest. Let's start with high school. I can't really, middle school is kind of, I don't know, because I can't even remember that much from middle school. Middle school was actually kind of, it was kind of blurry, but it was kind of beneficial, most of the stuff that we learned in middle school.
Yeah.
Because I think you even, but high school, because that's the more important. That's like right before you get out there in life. I think high school, let's be honest, they don't, high school does not prepare you for life. Honestly, I don't even think it prepares you for college somewhat, depending on what school you go to, depending on what resources your school had, what programs they deem important within that school. But anyway, it does not prepare you for life, because a lot of people, that's the other thing, but a lot of people don't go to college, so I don't see why they favor preparing you for college versus preparing you for life. But I'll let you.
Oh man. I'm going to try to dig back a little bit. So you were always told, go to class, get the good grades, either be on the tech prep route or the college preparatory route, or you could do dual. I think I did dual. So that way, I guess it kind of expanded your options for going to just a 4-year versus technical school. Neither one are easy. Tech school is just 4 years wrapped up in 2 years, so it's sped up even faster. 4-year institution, you kind of get to play a little bit somewhat-ish your freshman year, but like by that second semester sophomore year, you got to have your stuff together, because junior, senior go by quick. And it's almost like when you come to college, the professors expected you to know how to be I would say a professional college student in a way. So like writing your papers, they had to be completely different from writing them in high school. I remember my first college paper, I got a C, and I was like, wait a minute, I know how to write a paper because I used to get A's on my paper. She was like, this is not a collegiate level paper.
Oh, wow.
I was like, so I had to go to tutoring.
Yeah.
Get some help. But that was like, I guess, my only difficulty. And then taxes. I knew nothing about that. So we did all that math in high school. Taxes was never a topic. I wish it was. But yeah, I had to do taxes being a student worker. So I was like, W-2, W-4, what is this?
Yeah.
Somebody tell me what this is. That would have been helpful. And I would say probably, well, maybe more so needed now, but back then, communicating. You kind of had to learn how to like deviate your own, your own problems. People weren't really
hidden
behind one of these.
Yeah.
Like if something was an issue, you went directly to the person. You skipped the middleman people. You went directly to the source. But yeah, so I don't know. Just
those are some good ones. I agree with most of those.
Yeah.
But I didn't know he was gonna go to school route. Now school, I'm not gonna lie. My mom was always. They already know. My mom was kind of bougie. I was always in the most. I don't know if I'm gonna use this word right, but most rigorous academic schools.
Okay.
Did I use that word right? Yeah. Y'all see, get my palette of vocabulary right. But no. So I never had that. Like even especially like my senior year when I decided to transfer back to the similar school that I went to when I was in middle school.
Okay.
One of my professors pretty much got us. It hit the nail when I got to college. Like her whole class was dedicated to. It was like a language arts kind of class, but I forgot exactly what it was. Okay. But we took quizzes. There were no tests, no homework assignments. You read, you take quizzes, and then there was like exams and tests. That was it.
That was it.
Yeah, but when I got to college, some of my classes are literally like that.
Yeah.
Some of my classes are literally like that, and I think it was maybe a few times we had to write papers, but that was just because she had like an adjunct professor that she was kind of somewhat training or whatever.
Gotcha.
So she would assign some of those assignments, but most of our assignments was
just quizzes.
Yeah, like quizzes, exams, reading assignments. That's it. Like, so it was a tough class. Needless to say, because it wasn't that many grades. So if you messed up one time,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so it kind of got me ready. But like I said, it was nothing ever educational wise. I did almost fail math. Almost didn't graduate my last year of high school, and that put me in a let's just say I straightened up. And then college, I did not play. I did not play when it came to that math in college. But overall, I would say. Like, I don't know if it was back in your days. I don't know if it was the 80s or the 90s. But they used to have classes that get you ready for that transition to life. Is it home ec?
Yeah, I did take that when I was in middle school.
Home ec. We don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
We don't have that anymore. That's the cooking class. What's the one? Well, this one is up in the air because, this is the most controversial one. Sex ed.
Okay, so I'm embarrassed, but we had that in middle school, but it was also an intro. I can't believe it, though, y'all. Like elementary school, 5th grade, we had some kind of something.
In elementary, now that's that. Yeah.
5th grade.
That's crazy.
I went to a magnet school, so it was a little bit more
strict.
Yeah, a little bit more stern. Yeah. But yeah, so
wow,
it was a different ball game.
Yeah, I'm not even getting into that. But I do feel like it needs to be taught. I just don't know how you would do that. It's not where I'm going to go with. What's the other one? It's not sex, but it's like, it's a parenthood, but not Planned Parenthood, but it's like parent. It's whatever class. Is it,
like
I think
teaching you how to like have a baby and what
stuff like that.
Yeah,
like no. Seen the movies. We don't have that. Obviously, the biggest one is you touched on it with taxes, but it's a word for financial literacy.
Got you. Yeah, and we definitely need that because my goodness, stuff is expensive.
Very. It's getting crazy out here. I think I just recently made a budget, like a Microsoft Excel sheet. I had never done it in my life before. I don't even before 2024. I didn't even look at prices when I go to the grocery store. Now I gotta look at. I feel like an old man now. I've been looking like cereal $6. Like, I'm about to go to Walmart.
Listen.
And it's crazy, but this is stuff they don't teach you. And then when we get out here, and our generation's kind of messed up right now. But and then they wonder why everybody wants to be a content creator, or why everybody gets some of these jobs, and they want to call us lazy. It's not because we're lazy. We're never prepared. Well, let's back up a little bit. Another thing, with my experience of going to college, was that high school to transition to college is they don't tell you. They teach you so much about scholarships and applying and admission and what it's going to be like. But the biggest thing I had a problem with that I learned throughout my college career, my transition from high school to college, was they don't teach you or they don't tell you to pick the right school that's best for you. Like, that's the most important because a lot of people will say, college is not for everybody.
Right.
I disagree if you know what you want to go for.
Right.
But even if you know what you want to go for, you got to pick the right school. I've been to 3, And by the second one, I almost was like, okay, maybe this isn't for me. Until I gave third one a try. I actually did my research within finding my third school, which is Piedmont University. And I'm so thankful that I took that moment. I'm thankful to my past self for taking that moment to actually research and find the school that was best for me. Because ever since I got here, this program is so, like, most people their senior year are happy to graduate, happy to get out of school. I tell my professors every day, like, I wish I would make a master's program, or I wish I could stay 2 more years because I love it here. I'm learning so much, so much that I can take into the professional world to the point where, like, I just want to stay longer to perfect my craft. But that goes into how much you guys pour into us. Like, y'all do not just teaching a curriculum, you're actually teaching us what we need to know, but applying it also to life as well, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's one big thing I want to be big on, because a lot of people will say, like I said, college is not for everybody. I find that highly disagreeable. Like, maybe it's not. Some people just aren't built for college, but I believe if you go to the right school, like I always say, one of my majors is film production and documentary. I've met students, other fellow students that go to other schools that are within the same major, and maybe just because their school doesn't have the right resources, or the professors are not, they're just not in tune with it. But like, we don't write essays about video. We go out and shoot it and turn it in for assignment. It's almost as if it was actual professional field. Like work, you know what I mean?
Right, the hands-on approach.
Yeah. And because that's what film is. Like, I think if I would have went to any other school and they told me to write essays on documentary, I wouldn't last. Nor would that be beneficial to me going in the professional realm. So I think you always also have to pick the right school. Like, I met a student that went to SCAD, and we all know, like, SCAD is up there when it comes to arts.
Right.
And I met him over the break. I'm not going to be too specific because I don't want to put him out there. But I had actually taught him something that I thought, it was like basic. Yeah, it was like one of the basics of, you don't even have to go to school for it. It's like one of the basics of video editing. And it was just, some people aren't going to know what this is, but synchronizing audio. All you have to do is highlight it. It's almost like I don't know what analogy I can give, but it's like you sync up the audio. So like, if the words, if you use a mic here and a mic here, and then you go in post-production and you sync them up. But you can literally do that by highlighting both of them and just press synchronize. He didn't even know he could do that, but he went to SCAD. So that's my thing. So it's like, you know, everybody talks big about SCAD, and I've heard horror stories of how SCAD students are. Yeah, about how they think they're big time. But yeah, he went there, and he's the most humblest person I know. So, but he went there, and he didn't, you know, and they're paying like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
That's what I'm saying. Ooh, that ain't good.
So I don't know. I'm just very big on that, because just from my experience. Like, if I didn't have this experience, I wouldn't have said. But yeah, I've grown. I feel like I've grown. You know, my multimedia skills so much from this school that I honestly, and you know, I'm not gonna be one of those people like, my school the best, but I don't think I would have got this anywhere else. And then the other thing, I think it was the perfect spot for me too.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry to go on a long rant about that one. But yeah, I'm big on that, man. I hate when because y'all have a lot of friends that cheer me on, and I'm one of those. Growing up, I was always one of those, like, I wanted us to make it. And sometimes that would hinder me.
Yeah.
That would definitely hinder me. And I'm just now learning, like, sometimes I got to let, you know, my folks figure that out. Like, I as long as I still want the best for them, it's not bad to take a step back.
Yeah.
So, in these conversations I'm having with my friends now, we talk about us growing up and having these big dreams. I'm like, you know, why don't you chase them? Like, I mean, I mess with you supporting me and cheering me on, but, like, I want you to be the one to make it out. I don't want to come back and be the messiah of the neighborhood. I want all of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah, when I would have those conversations, I'm just like, just go for it. And they'll be like, school's not for me, or this is not for me, or I don't want to start now. It's just, you just gotta. It's not easy, but if they would have taught us that in high school, maybe it would have been a little bit more. Yeah. It would have been a little easier. Yeah. Yeah, that's how. That's all I got for that conversation. What was the other thing? I had wrote some stuff down. Oh. Going into that, it's still kind of the American dream. How do you feel about the American dream? Everybody has their own definition, but you know the main one, yeah.
I guess it just depends on how a person views it. I know currently today for myself, for me, the American dream is that financial freedom and freedom of your time. So basically doing either what you love or probably in the process of doing what you love to the point where it doesn't feel like you're working. It's like it's something that you love to do. You give it your all and your energy. You give it some time, let it do what it's going to do, and kind of let it just kind of stack up on its own as far as finances are concerned. For me, that's the American dream. Love 9 to 5. It has taken care of me thus far. But ultimately, people want to be able to have, some people, I don't say everyone, some people want to be able to have a little control over their time and how they divvy it up and basically being their own boss in a way. Again, everybody's not good at that. Some people can lead themselves. Some people have to be led. It just depends upon where you are in life. And, of course, the business aspect about things, the taxes, and I can go on and on. This is just stuff I've learned just from being an adult, not necessarily college. But, yeah, the American dream is just being able to have that freedom of your time and just really enjoying life versus having to go and clock in just because you got to pay bills.
And I think that's the underlying American dream. What you just explained is like the non-brainwashed American dream. And I agree with that American dream. Like I was thinking about what you said the last time when we very first spoke about this topic, and you said, I wish everybody would, why can't we live in a society where everybody can get, what did you say? You said not take what they need, but kind of live off only. I'm
trying to remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to, I got the word, I got the phrase, it's the word. It's the, you can kind of take, I'll just use the word take, I'll remember later, but kind of take what they need in order just to live. Not to live too comfortably, but just to live comfortably.
Oh,
and then
yes. Gotcha.
Everybody
okay.
could, you know.
Yeah.
Versus this person getting $100 million,
right.
and this person doing this.
Yeah.
And then that falls under what you just said. There's a reason why we can't, out of high school or straight out of college, go to our dream job because the world is so greedy. I was thinking about that too. I was like, why is it so hard for college? Like they tell you, we want experience. You have to have a degree, and we do this 4 years. We go into student debt, and then just for you to tell us
you don't have
10 of us to apply for a school, and you don't have we don't have experience. But we just did all this, and it's like, why can't y'all hire us? But like you said, when you learn how business works, oh God, I knew I should have. Oh my God, I knew I should have connected this to the Bluetooth. I'll figure out a time somewhere within our conversation to play it.
Okay.
But when it goes into what you said about business, when you understand how business works, it's about the more amount of people you employ, or sometimes less. It depends on the financial status. Financial status, but let's just say for the sake of this conversation, if you hire less people and pay them well, that doesn't open up enough space for you to hire more people.
Exactly.
But if you hire a lot of people,
right,
then you get paid less.
Right.
And that's just how business goes, because the less you pay them, the more profit you gain from your business, which sucks.
Right.
But some people don't think. I even used to complain about that. Like, that was one of my biggest things when I worked at Amazon, which was like my last job before I started working here. Was like, I was like, wow, I'm getting paid $16 an hour, which was pretty good for that time. 2021, that was pretty decent for me. That was the most I made. I think I was taking home at least $500, $600 a week.
Okay.
Which is pretty decent coming, like, you know, in my early 20s. But it was just, I was like, I'm getting paid $16 an hour. I'm working 10 hours a week. 10 hours a day, 40 hours a week. And like, I'm in this warehouse, and I'm in here at sundown. I'm out of here at sundown.
Right.
And I'm just like, I don't like it.
Right.
Like, why am I not working for myself? I feel like my worth, first of all, is way more. Like, I have skills that I can apply to something else that I can get paid more, and in my time. It's like you said, my time. Like, I could just be spending 10 hours here. If I was working for myself, I could 5 hours here, some time to myself, and then 5 hours, you know, work at it again.
Right.
Why do you think we can't live like that?
Yeah, I'm like, I think it kind of goes back to what you said before about like the greed and whatnot, because at the end of the day, a dollar bill is a tree.
Yeah.
Do you know how many trees there are outside? Do you know how many trees I've passed going by?
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why there's not a lot of it is just because we're not the Federal Reserve and we don't have the permission to make or print money ourselves. But is it hard to do? Absolutely not. Anybody could do it. But because we don't work in that specific area, department, whatever have you, because somebody had to make that decision. Oh, only the Federal Reserve can just give access for you to have money printed and da-da-da-da. But at the end of the day, it's still a tree. There's so many trees out there, y'all. Like, if people could just open up their eyes and be like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me how many forests there are out there? How many parks and things? Like, there are trees everywhere. Not saying to cut down trees, but I'm just saying, like, there is no shortage of that. It's just it's a mindset. It's a mental thing. But to me, it's more than enough for everybody. It's just for some reason, I don't know. Some people don't want to share. They don't want everyone to be as prosperous as they, want them to be. Because, I mean, let's be real. If every person was able to make, I would say maybe 100K, because I think now, according to statistics, I think for a single person to live comfortably, it has to be at least, I think, 90 to 99,000 a year. She don't make that.
Yeah, it's going.
But if she did, would she? Absolutely. Like, I have plans in my head already. Like, I'll be using the job money, do what I got to do, have a little something over here to go ahead and replace that job money, and then just kindly retire myself from having to work that over there, and I can work over here. But, because that's the way out. Like, no one's not going to tell you that. If you just happen to stumble over it and figure it out, kudos to you. But for the majority of us, 9 to 5, get to it, whether you like it or not. Because you want to take care of others, you got to take care of yourself.
And that's
really what it boils down to.
That's the hardest part of my generation, because, and I just realized that too, because if I would have graduated in, like my actual college graduation, if I would have did 4 years right out of high school, I would have graduated in 2021.
Okay.
Where the economy wasn't as bad. It was still expensive, but it wasn't as bad.
Right.
To where, like, I think during that time I used to do these podcasts, but I didn't have a studio, right? And I did one at my friend's house, her apartment, and I think her rent was like $900.
Okay, that's
$900
great.
a month, and that was in Atlanta.
That's great.
$900 awesome. A month.
That's a blessing.
You know the average of what it is now, like for a 1 bedroom, 15, 16 to 1800, like for a 1 bedroom. It's not even a studio. 1 bedroom. And I'm kind of thinking to myself now especially about what you said when it comes to American Dream. It's like it's deeper than financial issues.
It is.
It's like we're brainwashed to think, okay, you graduate from school, you get a high paying job, not a job that. And that's another thing that they don't want us to tell you, is that if you. Now, I'm saying if you pick your dream, and everybody doesn't know straight out of high school, but for those that do know what they want to do, like if you pursue that. Yeah. Eventually the money is going to come. It will catch up, right? Because you're going to, like the old generation like to call us lazy now, you're going to work hard at something you like to do, what you want to do, you have passion for it.
Right.
So the money's going to eventually come. Like, I'm not going to, I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to go to Popeyes and give my all for like, what, $12 an hour? And the benefits probably ain't even worth a damn, let's be honest. But like, yeah, the American dream is, graduate from high school, work on getting a high paying job, get married, procreate, have a family.
Get that house.
Get a house.
That white picket fence.
White picket fence.
It gets dirty though.
But all it does is benefit the government and the economy. Like where, and I get it. Like, there's so much I want to unpack here. There's so much I want to unpack. It's so much.
It's like, which angle you gonna go?
Yeah, because it was the guy that dates. Do you know who Halle Bailey is?
Yeah.
Her boyfriend DDG. He went online like a month ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, and he was saying, let your 9 to 5, pay for your drink, your passion, something like that. It was something along, but y'all got what I'm saying. Yeah. And a lot of people gave him flack for that. Where some people that gave him flack were right, but some others were wrong. But the ones that were right, I would say, what I deem right was, yeah, everybody can't be celebrities or do exactly what we want, because the world doesn't work like that. We need plumbers, we need this. But there are some people that actually want to do that. You don't have to brainwash into thinking like, what's those like trade school is like the number one that everybody should just do just to make the economy work. I've met people that at Home Depot that genuinely like working at Home Depot.
Yeah, they love it. Yeah.
Like I met a person that had a degree in cybersecurity, where you know you can make a lot of money in that.
Right.
Or no, it was computer science, but he could have went into cybersecurity, and I think he did, and he realized he didn't like it. He went to Home Depot and said, like, I literally like helping people.
Right.
So I think whoever's in charge of that, I think they think it'll run out. Like we'll run out of workers in the middle class fields, but I don't think that's the case, and I think we need to stop pushing. They need to stop. Whoever's pushing that agenda, need to stop pushing that American dream agenda. Hence why, you know, a lot of my generation and the ones behind me are like, and I don't know why they hate them, because it's kind of speaking to what you like. They're working for themselves. It might not be but content creators and
it's a lot of work.
Stuff.
I know, unfortunately, the generation before myself may not understand unless they take the time to learn and understand, but they don't see working behind a computer, doing the editing, taking the time to like do the voiceover. They don't see that as work because it wasn't around during their time. So they don't understand or get that. So you have myself, the millennial generation, we get both sides. So it's like, you know what? Yeah, mom told me start at the bottom, work your way up. I'm looking at my brother's generation. I'm finna do a TikTok. And I'm like, you know what? I like the way that sounds because it's still work behind the scenes, but I don't have to work for 40 years. I can do that within maybe a year or two, maybe 4 max. And I'll be great.
Own time, and I don't have to.
Right.
Ooh, we can get into it, because I went to that same thing with my dad. I think I told you this, and it was the way I explained it to you was wrong, because he was definitely right. I was right. We just didn't come to a point of like hearing each other out, to be honest. And I take 50% accountability for that. But we was getting into it because every semester, especially towards the end, when you know it's crunch time, you got like all of these projects due. I'm a double major, so it's times 10. And I'm always having to choose between the job I have and school, like putting in these projects. But the thing about me is, I treat, and as you should, I think every like the professors here and the way our program is, they want every assignment to be something that you can use on later. Like, it's not just for me to turn in.
Right.
I'm just gonna guide you to make this look good or sound good or sound professional, to where you can put this on your portfolio and turn this in. Like, it's just not an assignment. This is something you can use to help you get a job, which I love here. Everything is not assignment based. Everything is not just by the book curriculum. This is to help you go get a professional job when you leave here. Right. And I take pride in that. Y'all see my work. Y'all see how I do this podcast. Very professional. I'm kind of like my mom a little bit. Like, I like to be perfect, but we know we don't live in a perfect world, and there's no such thing as perfection. But if you chase perfection, the better you will be, the better your content or whatever you're working on will be. Anyway, but my dad is stuck in that mindset, like you said. Like, you're in the in-between. He's in the 70s, 80s mindset where you need to keep that job, or you need to do this. You need to figure out a way to balance it. And I'm like, to what you just said, video editing, creating this stuff, like, this is not easy. It takes time. Like, it takes time. You have to schedule it. You have to edit it. It takes, like, I'm working on a documentary right now that I'm losing my mind because the premiere is next Thursday, and I'm halfway done. But it's just not putting clips on a thing. It's like the intricacies of it is so deep. You literally have to experience it to understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but he don't.
I feel that.
And it was funny because once we would get into it, and one time my mom just came up and asked me, and she was like the behind the scenes of how I do stuff. She's like, so, because every time I go home, I show them my work. Like, we have like a little family time, and I show them. And she was like, yeah, that was good. So how did you? And this is the first time she's ever asked. My dad's never asked, and I broke it down piece by piece. And by the end of the time I broke it down, she was like, that's a lot. I was like, yeah, tell that man in another room. And I'm just like. And it's not, and I get it, because I'm not your average college student. Like, I'm paying most of my bills.
Got you.
Because I'm a little older than everybody else. So, my parents do help me out when they can, but I'm a little older. I have to be responsible, because I should have been graduated by now, but at the same time, it was hard for me to find a school that kind of fit my needs and can help me get to where I need to be. But it's not just me picking being broke over my school. Right. It's like, okay, I get paid a couple $100 just to pay my bills,
Right.
and I turn in crappy work, or I chill out for a little bit, be broke for a little bit, put in this amazing work, and it eventually leads to more money than I would have made here.
Right.
But they don't understand that mindset or process because of the time they were in. It's that you won't know unless you're in it.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
True.
So
True.
that's funny you brought that up, because that was exact how it was last year. I mean, now we're a little bit on better terms. Like, I think he's understanding a little bit, and I'm doing a better job of balancing both. But I'm not gonna lie, this week is kind of similar to last semester. Like, I've had to cut my hours this week too. So
Priorities.
Yeah.
Priorities. But yeah, it's different. But for those who are out there that are doing, thank you for what you do, and if you love it, you enjoy it, keep doing it. That's great. But just know that, are there more options? Absolutely. It's just a matter of knowledge. That's all it is. That's the only thing. Because if you know and you work it, like, just imagine if you put in 40 years. Man. Psh, come on now. Like, and then you're hoping once you get to the end that you get that Social Security. I know some people who got, like, maybe like a couple months away from it, got let go. And there's nothing they can do about it. So it's like, for my generation, we gotta do something else.
Exactly.
Because it's like, if that could happen, like my grandmother, for example, she's a generation before my mother. She living off Social Security very well. She is fine. My mom, she's coming up on hers, but I'm like, I don't know how reliable that's going to be. So my thought process is, okay, look at Granny, she's good. Look at Mom, it's a little shaky. I'm looking at me, I ain't finna rely on it. So, like, it just depends upon how you look at it. But don't be surprised if it's like, you did all this work and da-da-da.
Exactly.
And it's like, yeah, that's the...
And it's crazy because the economy's so bad now that people that have worked that hard and saved up that Social Security, the economy's so bad now, you might just have to go get a part-time job and live off Social Security. That's what my dad is kind of doing right now. He's
and
in that
that's
situation.
sad.
Yeah.
That's absolutely sad, because it should not be like that. Like,
Now imagine it for the
sheesh.
Now imagine it for the average college student, which we already know the stories of. You know, some kids don't go to college and have their parents funding them, like they got their back. Some of us, like me, at times we had to get a job and balance school
At the same time.
Now the economy's so bad, I got 3 jobs and I'm doing school. So it's just bad right now. It's
I don't know. It's like, I feel like, I can't say all of the world, but majority of the world, we all have PhDs in survival and struggling. Without going to school. Without going to school, but woo.
It's getting bad.
It's something. Yeah.
Well, I know we're gonna end this one and we're gonna go to a part 2.
Okay.
Like another 20 minutes. You have any socials, anything you wanna shout out?
No.
No business or nothing. No side hustles.
Not yet. It's coming.
Okay, it's coming.
Coming.
Okay, on that note, I'm gonna do my awkward social media outro, whatever. That was a good conversation. What did I start off with? Oh, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, or follow, comment, subscribe. That's what the professionals say. But the button says subscribe, so subscribe. Yeah, comment what you like, what you didn't like, questions. I forgot last episode. We do have an email because I want like more engagement from people.
Okay.
So I want people to, I want to start doing email episodes where I answer questions or read emails and talk about how they felt about a certain episode or what topics they think we should talk about.
Okay.
So that email is realtalkradio626@gmail.com. For more teasers and updates, Instagram, real.t.radio, TikTok, Real Talk Radio with 2 O's. They kind of blew up the last one I posted from last Friday with the election stuff. I got a lot of traction from there, but I know that was a recent event, so of course that would get a lot of traction.
Yeah.
But yeah, because me and Joe talked about a lot of stuff. Because that was last Tuesday was kind of crazy time. It was a crazy time for a lot of people. But yeah, thank you for watching. And I forgot to leave y'all a motivational quote or a question last week. Do you have a motivational quote? Even though you just kind of gave one a couple minutes before. I wanted to end it there because that was pretty good. Yeah, about the Social Security stuff. But
oh, man.
something maybe you live by every day. I usually write them down, but I ain't prepared today.
Honestly, no matter what, stay positive and always remember that someone wished they would have your worst day.
And we ended on that. Goodbye.